What's up, dads? My name's Josh. Welcome to Best Dressed Dad. In this week's video, we're going to be talking about button-up shirts. This video is part of a series called How They Should Fit. I'm going to link to an article, actually two articles below. The first of which is going to be specifically how they should fit button-ups. The other one is going to be how they should fit jeans. Throughout this series of videos and blog posts, we'll go through almost every potential item of clothing that you have and how it should fit you properly. But as I said, this week's going to be all about button-up shirts. It's pretty safe to say that regardless of your age, your profession, your stage in life, we all wear button-up shirts. I myself literally wear one every day for work. So maybe you're like me, or even if you're not and you just occasionally wear a button-up, it's important that it fits you properly. So in this video, we're going to cover how a button-up shirt should fit. But before we get into that, it's important to understand that there are really just two basic types or categories of button-up shirts. The first category is going to be casual button-up shirts. So these are a couple examples: a flannel or just another casual sort of shirt. Obviously, they both still button up, but there are a couple other characteristics of casual button-ups. A lot of times, casual button-ups are going to have a button-down collar, and they may also have like this one has button pockets, just some other features that make them more casual in nature. Casual button-ups will often have colors, so obviously this one is red and blue. They'll also a lot of times have more of a softer or textured material, and a lot of times the shirt tails are going to be cut kind of straight. So see how this is relatively straight? It's got a little tiny bit of an actual shirt tail, but not much. It's important to understand that because casual button-ups generally are not going to look great if you try to tuck them in. They're going to look best untucked. Okay, here's a visual of what I mean by casual shirts are going to look better untucked. So as you can see, this one, it looks correct with the more straight shirt tails. It looks good aside from the fact that it's super wrinkled. It's meant to be untucked and it's going to look its best that way. If we try to tuck it in, I mean, it's not going to look horrible, but even start to see it's just not, not the best look. Not awful, but not really the best look. So that's casual shirts. Let's move to dress shirts. Dress shirts, as the name would imply, are obviously a little more formal in nature. As I was saying, casual shirts are primarily going to have some color. A dress shirt is typically only going to be a white or a light blue. They could definitely still have some patterns like stripes or checks or something like that, but usually the base colors are going to be white like this or a light blue like this shirt. A lot of times dress shirts will not have a button-down collar, but it's not to say that they can't either. The material of a dress shirt, it's not that it's going to be uncomfortable or anything like that, but it's definitely going to be a little bit more rigid than a casual button-up shirt. It's not going to be soft and textured like the flannel I was showing you before. And the shirt tails, unlike the casual button-up shirt, are definitely going to be curved. They're not going to be straight across like the casual. So see how that has a pretty drastic curve to it. In the front, it's longer, comes up a little higher on the hip area, and then in the back, it's longer because it's designed to be tucked in. Can't tell, I was wearing this one all day today. You can see where it was tucked in. Dress shirts are not going to look right if you try to wear them untucked. To show you what I mean, why a dress shirt shouldn't be worn untucked, take a look at this. It is way down past my butt, the shirt tails, and way down past the crotch in the front. It just doesn't quite look right untucked. It is going to look a heck of a lot better if it's actually tucked in. Now I'm wearing jeans, so yeah, it's still a look that's gonna work. But the shirt in general is just going to look a lot better tucked in without those long shirt tails hanging out too low. Those long shirt tails just make it look way too sloppy. All right, I'm tired of changing shirts, so I'm going to stay in this one even though it's a little bit too wrinkled. So those are the two types of shirts: casual button-ups and dress shirts. From here, we're going to get into how they should fit. Now, I'm just going to specifically focus on dress shirts. Just know that the same general rules will apply for casual button-ups, but you do have a little more leeway there. The three areas that we're going to focus on are the neck size, the sleeves, and also the torso. We could get into more specifics like with the shoulders and some other areas as well, like the chest and stuff like that you can really focus in on if you'd like to. But to keep things simple, we'll just stick to the neck, the sleeves, and the torso. You'll start to hear a theme as I'm going through those 3 areas, but generally you want it to be snug, but not restricting. Starting out with the neck, again, you want it to be snug, but not restricting, okay? So with the collar all the way buttoned, you should be able to fit about 1 finger in between your neck and the collar of the shirt. If you don't know your neck size, it's actually pretty easy to figure out. All you do is measure the circumference of your neck below your Adam's apple and add 1/2 inch. So if the circumference is 15.5 inches, the shirt size you should be getting is a 16. My neck personally is somewhere in between 15.5 and 16, so I just go for the 16 because I don't want to feel like I'm being choked all day. That's the neck size, pretty simple. When you're shopping for dress shirts, know that when you see those numbers on the actual tag of the shirt, the first number that you're seeing is referring to the neck. The second number is referring to the sleeve length. Speaking of sleeves, let's move on to that next. For sleeves, we're gonna look at 2 areas in particular, the length of the sleeve, and then also the fit, so as in how close it is to your arm. The length, what I do is I just find that space right between, what is this? This is your wrist bone, right? So the place right between, the space right between your wrist bone and your hand, that's where the sleeve should end, right about there. So that's how you know you have the right length, when your arms are straight at your sides. Once you have the sleeve length, you want to pay a little bit of attention to the cuff itself. You don't want that to be too loose, but not, again, the whole snug, not restricting thing. The actual fit, so how it fits around your arm, I use something just called the 2-knuckle rule. I'm pretty sure I made it up, but it works for me and it helps me determine if my shirt fits correctly. So here's what I mean by the 2-knuckle rule. If you grab the fabric underneath your shirt, the space between the bottom of your arm and the seam of your shirt should be about 2 knuckles. So 1 knuckle, 2. If you're able to grab a whole handful, that's going to be too baggy. If it's not quite that much fabric, you'll probably find the shirt fits a little too tight. This is a little bit of a personal preference thing. That's how I like my shirts to fit. You may prefer them a little tighter. I really wouldn't go too much more baggy than that, or it's going to begin to look ill-fitting. Okay, so that was sleeves. Let's move on to the third area, and that's your torso. It's important to understand that dress shirts, they pretty much are going to have 2 different cuts. They're going to have a regular fit and then a slim fit. Understand that a regular fit dress shirt is going to be cut like a box or a rectangle, you could say. A slim fit is going to be more angled down from your shoulders to your stomach. Again, you guessed it, I use the whole 2-knuckle rule when I'm figuring out if the shirt's cut correctly for the torso. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing the fabric on either side of my stomach, and the space between my sides and the seam of the shirt that I'm able to pinch should be about 2 knuckles. That's just what I use. That's how I find the shirts fit me best. For you, that might be a little bit less. Again, I wouldn't go too much bigger than that, or it's just gonna look too baggy. All right, dads, that's how your shirts, specifically dress shirts, should fit. What I'm gonna do though is gonna give you a little homework for next time. What I want you to do is grab some dress shirts out of your closet, ones that are that fit you correctly around the neck and on the shoulders, but just may otherwise be a little bit too baggy. And I want you to take those to your local tailor. You could also take them to a dry cleaner. Believe it or not, a lot of dry cleaners will actually do alterations, but take them to the tailor, dry cleaner, whoever it is, and just kind of explain that the shirt's a little too baggy and you'd like it to fit properly. Now, if you've never been to this tailor before, I'd take maybe 1 or 2 shirts. I wouldn't take them a bunch, because if you don't really know how good they are, you don't want them potentially ruining all of your shirts. So just start with maybe 1 or 2. If they're a good tailor, they will have you stand there. They'll take maybe some measurements, but they'll probably just kind of feel the fabric, see where it's a little bit too big. They'll either make some marks with chalk, or they may pin the areas that are a little too baggy. You'll start to see that even just some simple pinning will have that shirt fitting you properly. You'll leave that shirt with them for a few days or a week, then go back to pick it up, and hopefully if they're good, it'll fit you like a glove. Don't worry if it's some simple alterations like just taking a shirt in. That really shouldn't be all that expensive. So that's your homework. I'd really encourage you to do that. What I found is the baggy dress shirts that I had in my closet, I really didn't wear them that often, but when I did, I wasn't super confident in them because I just knew they didn't fit right. Once I understood my sizes a little better and then actually had shirts tailored, I find that I really enjoy wearing them and I feel a heck of a lot more confident in clothes that fit me properly. All right guys, that's it for this week's video. As I said at the beginning, make sure you check out the article. I'm gonna link it below because it gets into a lot more detail. It's gonna have some photos as well of some of the things we talked about. So I hope you like this video. If you haven't done so already, please give me a thumbs up. Also remember to subscribe to the channel and click the little bell next to the subscribe button so you get notifications when new videos are posted. Also, while you're checking out the article, I'd love if you subscribe to the email list. That, again, will just notify you when new blog posts are written. Thanks as always for stopping by, and until I see you next time, remember to love your kids and love your clothes.